To Wepa or not to Wepa? That is the question. Man, there ain't no question, man. Wepa, welcome to another episode of Viva Los Bills, everybody. I'm your host, Will Colon, a.k.a. Buffalo Will, and joined as always with the man, everybody's favorite cousin, Cousin Vinny. What's going on,
What's
bro?
going on? What's up? What's going on, man?
As always, we have Big Bobby Blackjack in the background, holding down the fort. Vinny, did you know Bobby was the Seton Hall Pirate at one point?
Oh yeah.
I was just making that up. I thought I was making it up, but was he really?
Nah, he was a Seton Hall Pirate.
Was he?
That's his alma mater. Yep.
I was joking. Shit.
He went from a crusader to a pirate.
Wow.
From Elmwood Park High School Crusader. Yes, sir. Yeah, I know a little bit about Bobby.
See, I thought I was making that up, and it was actually true. That's kind of crazy. As always, we're live on I-95 Sports Network and channel 198 on Ziggo TV and on Facebook at Viva Los Bills, our group page. So if you guys ever want, just join up, leave comments. Doesn't matter. Besides that, I have to give a quick shout out to my buddy Tommy Guns from work because he switched shifts so I could actually be off. So I could do the show.
That's good.
Thanks, Tommy Guns.
Cool.
I call him Tommy Guns because he has little, smaller guns than I do. So it's like Tommy Tiny Guns. Anyway, welcome back, everyone, for another week. If you guys have any comments, just hit us up. Bobby, you should throw them out there. We'll be able to talk to you guys. We'll answer them. We'll say whatever you want. Comments, questions, whatever. Just reach out if you want to. On that note, let's jump right into it. So, with all the COVID happening, the COVID-19 list reserve was created. It was created for a player who either tests positive for COVID-19 or who's quarantined after being in close contact with somebody who had COVID-19. So with an affected person. If a player falls into either of these categories, their club is required immediately to place them on the reserved COVID list. Now, there's issues with this. I'm going to go to my next page. So I had these pages coming up and new stuff was coming out, so it's a little mixed. Another thing is, if you're on it, you're supposed to be on it for 3 weeks, which creates a spot for a player while on the list. They get their normal pay, which is good for the player. Yes. And if they're cleared after 3 weeks, he returns to practice and the active squad. But there's a problem here because everybody's going to start cutting down their rosters. Rosters have to be cut down on to 81 by August 16th. Yep. Now, they don't know how it's going to affect the roster itself. So let's say if I'm at 81, somebody gets sick, they can't practice. So do they count as that 81 or do we fill that spot? There's still a little gray spots in there. Supposedly they're working on that point. With that said, the Bills, as of today, had 3 players. First was Isaiah Brown, our rookie. He was the first one to be placed on the reserve COVID list. After that was on Monday. Then here comes, Wednesday? I believe it was Wednesday, and they put Duke Williams and where's my list with the offensive guard? Defensive tackle Vincent Taylor. On the list. So today, if you saw, the Bills ended up sending all the rookies home today. Other players that were there. So let me jump over here. So they sent all the rookies home and held remote meetings today. At first it was expected that nobody else tested positive until I just read a few minutes ago. 2 more players were tested positive.
Yeah, Saran Neal and
the other rookie Dane Jackson. So now we have 5 players that have tested positive for COVID-19 or they've been in contact with somebody who had it.
And we had a player opt out of the 2020 season also.
Oh, well, that's coming later. We're on COVID.
we're still on COVID. Okay.
We're still on COVID.
We jumping the gun. You were talking about Tommy Guns, and I jumped the gun.
You jumped the gun. So we're already getting hit, man. And Buffalo, see, I don't know where these guys are coming from. because according to stats, upstate New York is one of the safest places in the country.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they
It,
were at, who
it's
had it,
it's
if they
scary,
had it.
man. Listen, it's a scary situation. With this going on, I know they canceled the preseason games.
Hmm.
Um, New England, from what I understand, the whole linebacking core is I don't know if they're opted out or if they have COVID, but from what I read earlier, they're all opted out. I mean, I don't even know if there's going to be a season. To be honest, I mean, they're shooting the gun. Look what's happening in MLB. Look what's happening everywhere else. I mean, we already got 5 guys pretty much done. But these guys, I think the rookies, I think they have to test a couple times, 3 negatives, or to be able to come back. From what I understand,
Uh,
I don't know what the rule is. You might know better than what I know.
well, I
But I
don't
know
know
there
what
were
it
certain
is.
criteria. There's certain criteria
Yeah.
they have to meet. I know I mean, because they're what they call asymptomatic. They have a positive result, but they're asymptomatic. I think they have to take 2 more tests within 3 weeks, or have 3 negative tests before they're able to come back. So I mean, it's starting to become a mess. We dropped 5 guys already. We have, like
Yeah.
I said, we're going to talk later on about Lotule Star opting
Yeah.
out. So I mean, who knows who else is going to opt out after this? It's kind of scary.
So, like, just to reiterate what you just said, under the NFL's training camp mandate, players must register 3 negative tests in a 5-day span to enter the facility. So there you go. Although teams are not required to shut down their facility for a positive test, the Bills choose to minimize risk by sending their players home. So,
Another note. Oh, I'm
go
sorry, I
ahead.
didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no, no.
You
Go ahead.
kept
Go
going.
ahead.
I said on
Go.
another note, if the head coach gets COVID, they're not allowed anywhere on the field. They're not allowed even to be remote coach or anything. So that's going to be an issue too if our coach gets any of the coaching staff gets sick. I mean, it's getting real ugly, man.
Yeah, and it's pretty fast. I mean, they just reported. You know, I don't. So the whole team just started getting in. So it's kind of crazy. 2 rookies already, and two
Well, they
rookies and
sent all the rookies home. They had 2 rookies got positive, and then they just said the heck with it, send all the rookies home
send them
as
all
of right
home.
now. So
Mr. Ryan Neal, he's the 3rd year man, so he's not a rookie.
yeah, absolutely.
So they need to work out all this COVID stuff out and how it's going to affect the squad because the Bills right now are at rank at 86. They have 86 players. They need to get rid of 5. So if these players don't count against the active roster,
The cut,
then
yeah.
they're at 81. They don't have to cut anybody. You know, so bringing that up, cutting people. So right now, if these counts are 81, I mean, and again, I don't know how it works with the practice squad because I could see, with the depth, they're probably going to put 1 or 2 of these guys on the practice squad. I don't think they're going to make it, especially at the cornerback position where there's a lot of depth. I would be
Yeah.
surprised if one of these rookies cracks the team. Doesn't mean it can't happen as long as they're putting in their work, but I don't know if they will. So you pick 5 players. I have already picked 5 players on the active roster that might be dealt or cut by August 16th. You want me to start with mine?
Go ahead. You go ahead.
All right. The first guy I put on there, which actually I would say, hey, try to trade him, is Steven Hauschka. And who would I talk to? I would talk to Bobby's team, the New York Football Giants, being that they just cut their kicker, Rosa. You save money, and you're going to bring up this rookie kid, so hopefully he could do what he has to do. And maybe you get a decent pick for Steven Hauschka. I don't know, 5th, 6th, who knows what they would give up for him. But at least you're not keeping 3 possible kickers on your squad. That's one guy I would say, hey, trade him if you can, or hold on to him and maybe cut somebody else. But I wouldn't cut him for nothing.
No, he's definitely trade value, but the only thing that's holding everything back is the COVID situation. Man, we could use him as trade bait, and all of a sudden you have another player in another position that catches the COVID. This is we could talk about it till we're blue and try to figure out who we're gonna cut and who we're not gonna cut. But until this situation happens,
Yeah.
With the COVID, we're never gonna. We don't have a solid league. Like it sounds good, Hoshka. It sounds good. We got Tyler Bass coming up,
Mhm.
but I mean, what if Tyler Bass gets it? Then what?
Well, that's the problem. That's the chance you got to take now. It doesn't
That's
matter. They still have to cut 5 players by August
mm,
16th to get to 81. We're not even talking about the final roster, you know.
yeah.
And it's not like you could throw them on your practice squad because everybody's practicing, so you
Mm-hmm.
can't even do that. So you actually have to get rid of some of these players. And just imagine when you got to cut down to 50, what, 3 or whatever the roster is now.
53.
Yeah, it's even worse, you know.
Yeesh.
So my second guy I was saying was Evan Bowen. He's not ranked. He was ranked one of the worst guards in the league.
Yeah,
You know, I try
we
to trade
discussed
him
him.
if you can for anybody, but if you can't trade him, I'd cut him. You know, that's one guy you got depth with the youth. I'd rather go with a young guy than a guy who's been in the league for a while who can't block. You know,
Plus, he's
that's,
injury prone. So
yeah, that too. That doesn't help him out much. So, you know, I'd probably put him on the block. Uh, Third guy I put on the list is Davis Webb. Sorry, we don't need 4 quarterbacks. You know, we have a rookie. Davis, I say, man, you're on the chopping block.
he gone.
He gone. Especially if you need to cut those spots. And again, it comes down to, like I said, when they figure out exactly what happens with the COVID position, then you might not have to cut these guys. These guys might all be safe, or whoever they might have to cut could all be safe because we have 5 guys on COVID reserve list as of right now. So again, this is hypothetical. This is us
All hypothetical, man. All
just
hypothetical. Because
talking for an hour as fans. That's it.
yeah, I started. I started getting the updates on who's opting out. Across the
Mhm.
league and the COVID. People coming up positive. And anytime I see the Buffalo Bills, my heart skips a beat. Now I know we got all these guys. Vincent Taylor, Sean Neal, Dane Jackson, Isaiah Brown. Is
Yeah.
it Isaiah Brown or Ike Brown?
Well, it's
Isaiah Brown.
Isaiah. He goes by Ike Brown, though.
Saying Ike Brown, yeah,
Yeah.
and Duke Williams. I mean, these are guys that obviously can contribute, but man, it's like your heart skips every time you see that update. You're like, oh my gosh, I hope it ain't. You don't want nobody to get sick, but now you're thinking the Josh Allens, the all the guys, the guys that are nucleus of the team. Like if one guy gets it on that nucleus of the team, we're in trouble already.
Yeah.
I mean, we got depth, but realistically, you don't want anybody, and that goes for the whole league. I mean, look what's happening with the Pats. They're dropping like flies over there. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't wish
They're
that. I
opting
mean,
out.
we're not Pats fans, but we don't wish that on anybody. You know what I mean? It kind of sucks, man.
But I think more is opting out those guys, you know.
Yeah, a lot of them
But we'll,
opting out. Yeah.
but we'll get to that too.
All right.
Because that's going to affect everybody's roster as well. I mean, we have one guy as of right now, so who knows what's going to trickle down, the trickle effect. Another guy I thought to get rid of was Kyrie Vedic, our kicker/punter they picked up, I believe, from the Jets last year for depth. I mean, honestly, you don't need 3 kickers.
No.
2 punters. I mean, unless you're trying to keep this guy to the practice squad, but I don't think you can. Another guy I would probably let go and keep some of these young guys and see what they could do. You don't want to get rid of the linebackers or corner before
He's
that.
been around the league a little while too. I believe he was in Minnesota and Baltimore, then the Jets in the trade, and now we're probably that'll be somebody. I mean, you can't Hoshka still got 1 year on his contract, so if we could keep him, we keep him. But this would definitely be a guy that I agree with you on cutting out of all the kickers.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really see him keeping this guy when you have all these young guys you want to see step up. Another guy, I mean, I don't think it would happen. I would try to trade Lee Smith. Go with the youth at tight end that we've talked about before. I mean, this guy's a very good blocking tight end. He's like a little presence in the locker room. Not a little presence, but he is a presence. He has some veteran. He's a veteran in the league. He's played for the Bills before, left, came back. But like I said in the past, I think I'd rather run with some youth. and keep the older head in here. You know.
And you got to be honest with you. Anytime, as a Buffalo Bill fan, anytime you see Lee Smith in there, what's the first thing you think of?
Yeah, just they're running the ball, and that's it.
They're running the ball. He's going to block. So pretty much the league knows that. So about in terms of trading value, I don't know what we could get. He's a great blocker, but I mean, in terms of trading value, everybody pretty much knows what he's going to do. He was I think he was drafted by New England Patriots as a 5th rounder. So I mean, he's a great blocker, but if that would be somebody to cut out of all the tight ends, I guess that would be the guy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Hopping in also, besides that, before anything, so with the most COVID positive tests right now is Minnesota with 7.
Oh, wow.
And this is before today's numbers. It was 7. Jacksonville was 6. And Detroit was in 3rd with 5 players. And now we tied Detroit with 5 players. So we're tied for the 3rd most of active or positive COVID-19 list reserve guys.
Not a good stat. Not a good stat. Do you happen to have the Miami numbers? Because I know Miami's a super hot spot right now. Do you happen to have those? That was in Miami. I was in Miami a couple weeks ago, and it was just, and you can't even go in the store hardly. It's horrible down there. It's really bad.
Yeah, they weren't as many. Where was my list? I had them. It's over here somewhere. I gotta find it. I'll find it at some point.
That's okay.
Yeah, but
that's okay.
They had less than these guys. I put the top 3, and now we're tied for the top 3.
That's not a stat that I want.
Yeah, I don't think so. Nobody wants that one. Also in Bills news, Cole Beasley was put on the active NFL list with an upper back injury. So with the Bills last year, he had career highs. I didn't know. In touchdowns was 6, yards per catch it was 11.6. And 67 catches for 778 yards. So I didn't know Cole Beasley had that much of a career year last year.
He definitely did a lot better. That's why he was excited to play in Buffalo this year, because he had way better numbers than he did in Dallas. And wow, it's just, man. Can you give me some good news? Some better news?
Yeah, career years, man. That was better. Too bad his back's bothering him, but hey. You know what's the good news about that? Mm-hmm. He doesn't have COVID, bro.
That's good news, yeah.
He needs to rub it out, man. Just rub it out.
Walk it off.
Get on the roller, roll out those back problems. You'll be fine. Do some stretching. Besides that, the only thing with Lee Smith being traded or cut, Tommy Sweeney, our tight end, he's been placed on the active PUP list. He played in 6 games during his rookie season last year, in which he hauled in 8 passes for 114 yards, for an average of 14.3 yards per reception. It was pretty nice, but it was only 8 catches. He didn't see much time. Yeah, he's got to get better, and this doesn't help him, especially during these times. So hopefully these 2 guys can get off these injured lists and get in and put in some work and stay healthy and not catch no damn COVID. Nobody wants to COVID. The list just keeps going. Now, on the thing you brought up, opting out. A lot of players are starting to opt out. As of right now, 30 active players have opted out and 1 free agent. And on our team, Star Latulier, he was the one who opted out, the first one, the only one as of right now. Who knows if more people will opt out. His $4.5 million salary for this year gets pushed for next year. So his salary for this year gets pushed next year, and the year that would have been last for next year gets pushed the one after that. So under this, I wonder if you could trade a player or how that's going to work, because if we do get hit with that $70 million cut, it's going to hurt everybody's contract. This guy was asked to take a pay.
Now, is it a $70 million or a $35 million cut?
I don't know. I heard 70. Last week they had possible $70 million. I don't know if it dropped down to 30. Hopefully it dropped down to 30.
Because I think it was a $35 million from the last I heard, but I might be wrong. I mean, this has got me, man. This COVID stuff got me like, I don't even want to look at the news. Like, I'm freaking out. Like, are we gonna have a season? They got rid of all the preseason games now. Now we got, rookies sent home. They have to have 3 in 5 days, negative results to be able to come back. Like it's running rampant. I mean, it is a good possibility. There won't even be a season by the time this is all said and done.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. Stop it. Positive thinking. You remember the Care Bears? When they used to shoot the little thing out of that circle of positivity. They shoot out positivity, man.
Shoot up positivity.
We need to
when I get off, I'm just gonna. Yeah.
What are you gonna do when you get off?
Positivity. I'm gonna meditate. Do something.
Man. Now, with Starlet Touvier opting out, and with Vincent Taylor on the COVID reserve 19 reserve list, that leaves us down to 2 defensive tackles, man. Actually, no, 3 with a possible 4, because we have Ed Oliver, Harrison Phillips, and now Vernon Butler. Those are all defensive tackles. Mm-hmm. And we have possible Quentin Jefferson, who moves around the whole line.
All over the place, yeah.
So, hey, man, Harrison Phillips, like I've been saying through all our shows, needs to step up. Now's his time.
Now's his time. He got the chance to. Absolutely.
This is the defensive tackle position. Nobody's going to get cut. You're going to run with Ford most likely during the season anyway. So these guys probably have their spots locked in, especially with stars sitting out. As long as nobody else gets sick, do you just keep these 4, or do you try to go pick up a defensive tackle free agent out there for some depth?
Man, it's some big butts. Exactly. Like I said, we got the depth, but this is just the first week. It's just the first week. I mean, they're just breaking the ice. So
has it even been a full week? I don't think it has.
Not even been a full week. That's what I'm saying. We're starting to get the news piling in with these guys, showing up and getting this news. Is like, what do you do? I mean, I'm keeping a close eye. I'm pretty sure all the fans are keeping a close eye, but there's always that doubt. And like I said, you telling me to stay positive, but man, it's hard to. I want to stay positive as much as I can, but it's going down to no fans. I don't even know what they decided on that yet. If there's going to be no fans, or if there's going to be anything with you have to sign a waiver or 20%. I'm so confused on what they're trying to say and what they're trying to do right now. And then now you got people getting sent home. Got to have 3 negative tests to come back. Some of these guys are asymptomatic, which means they have the virus or potentially, have the virus without any symptoms. So it's an ugly situation. Then they said another thing that I read, and we just talked about a little while ago, about if the head coach gets it, he's not going to be able to be the head coach. So, everybody got to step up wherever their position is now, even the assistant coaches. Leslie Frazier, all them guys, they got to be all on the same page.
Well, the way this team has been, this coaching staff has to be on the same page, which is great, So they can't video in either if he's not there? You should be able to video in, right?
Yeah, but how do you video game in a game and stuff? I don't know.
During the game, I can't see that, no.
Yeah. But, I don't know how that'll work out. This is all unprecedented, man. I don't know. I don't know the answers to that question.
It's crazy too. If you have to test positive 3 times, these guys are asymptomatic. So it's like they're not really sick, but they have it. I guess they're carriers. Mm-hmm. Or you have to stay out 3 weeks. You're already missing a big chunk of camp. Yep. How are these guys going to get ready for camp? How are you going to bring your roster spot? That's kind of, it's kind of nuts.
When me and you talked about prepping for the show, I didn't even know what to do. I don't even know how to go about I don't know. We're talking all these scenarios, but it could all be nothing. Hopefully, these scenarios that we're talking about, nothing will happen. Hopefully, everybody stays healthy. But when you're looking at what's happened to New England Patriots, when you're looking at Minnesota, when you see what's going on, it's real, man. It's people are dropping, people are opting out. There's some guys that just had kids that are opting out, some players, and I can't say I blame them. You don't want to get that crap and take it to your house, So, they get paid big bucks, yeah, but is it really worth putting your health at risk? So,
listen, man. What we got to do is, I found my hard hat. You got to put your hard hat on. You got to get ready.
That's what I'm talking about. Put in some work. Sweat it out.
Put your hard hat on. Get in
I like
there.
that.
I had this.
I like that.
cell tower setups, and I went to a spot to go get some equipment, and I saw the Buffalo Bills. I was like, I gotta take it. Just give it to
That's
me, man.
sweet.
I used to run around on sites with my Buffalo Bills hard hat. I
Sweet.
thought I'd get out, put it out there. All
That's
right, that's
nice. I
it.
like that.
Like you were saying, the Pats, by the way, like I said, there's 30 players as of I believe today have opted out. The Pats team leads the way, and they have 6 players who have opted out. And there's some key players with that. You know, the one thing is players must declare by August 6th or 7 days after the CBA side letter on the matter has been finalized. I guess it hasn't really been finalized, but the due date supposedly is August 6th. So we're going to know who's going to opt out hopefully by the end of August 6th, by the end of what, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, excuse me, or whenever it is. But the Pats lead the way. Hey, no Brady. I guess some of these guys are like saying, hey, we've won enough right now. I'm going to take the year off. I guess in Cam we don't trust. I'm opting out.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
but again, it could be that. It could be, hey, I know my pay is going to be there next year, so I really don't have to worry about it. The guys opting out are pretty much all vets, so they already made a good chunk of cash, and their money's going to be waiting for them next year anyway. So
Yeah.
hey, why not? I guess they see the writing on the wall that they're not probably going to win the East, and hopefully the Bills win the East, and everybody stays healthy and they're able to win it. But the Pats lead the whole league with 6 players that opted out.
Mm.
Can't blame the
You know,
guys. You got to respect them. It is what it is.
and a lot of players are we're getting losing a lot of players, and New England's losing a lot of players. The one that's gaining is Tampa Bay. I've seen that LaShawn McCoy signed with them.
I was gonna
So,
say.
uh,
Go ahead. Yeah.
no, I'm saying all the other teams are losing players, and Tampa Bay keeps getting better player. The reason why I mentioned LaShawn McCoy, obviously, because he was a Bill, and
Yeah.
we still wish him well. But he's over there with the GOAT, I guess. So let's see how that's going to play out over there.
I was gonna say that too. Like I said, my notes are all over the place because stuff's been changing all
It's
day.
been crazy. It's just been crazy.
But LaShawn McCoy signed a 1-year deal. I always liked Shady. When they did trade for him, I don't know. I wasn't too happy about it because I liked Kiko Alonso, and I
Yeah.
thought our linebacker core was getting nasty with him. But then they traded him. He didn't help us win a Super Bowl or get. We did get to the playoffs. He did carry us for a lot, especially with Tyrod in there. He was always dumping the ball to the guy. So I mean, I was happy when he won the Super Bowl for him.
Yeah.
So I can't hate on him. There's no hating on LaShawn. So, another player being that we're talking about little transactions is everybody knows Jamal Adams of the Jets, safety, whining. He wanted to get out of there. Didn't like Adam Gase. Finally got his wish. And the guy, okay. The Jets traded him to the Seahawks. I think the Jets actually got a good deal out of this. They have 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick from them. Oh, look at this, Justin. This guy's he's a Jet fan.
He was waiting for that Jamal Adams.
He's actually happy about it. They get a 2 first-round picks. He gets a third-round pick next year as well. And they actually got a safety, Bradley McDougald. I don't know much about the guy, but they're going to have 2 number 1 picks for the next 2 years. One's going to be early, top 10, because the Jets are going to stink. Sorry, Justin. But and then they're going to have one in the later rounds because the Seahawks are always good. So it's good for them. They got that. And it's good for the Bills because we don't have to bother with that clown.
Yeah. He says Adams is a punk. I know he was in a Twitter war with somebody. Was it the other safety for the Jets? I didn't really follow the story. Maybe he could help us.
I think what it was Le'Veon Bell was going
Le'Veon Bell, that's who it was. Yep. They were going back and forth on a Twitter war.
Nasty, but they were going back. I guess Le'Veon was he didn't really defend Gase, I think, but I think Gase might get fired anyway. Not a big fan of that guy. He's a bum. But I think the Jets did do well. I think the Jets helped themselves.
Yeah, they got absolutely.
A tumor, if you want to call him a tumor, because he didn't like the place and he bad negativity there. Now they don't have to worry about that. You help yourself with 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick, and you got a safety in the mix. If he can start, he starts.
I think they did well too. I mean, he is a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I think the Jets actually made out better than Seattle.
Oh,
Absolutely,
did you see that
absolutely.
one clown thing though? That Chris Sims, calling out Chris
What
Sims,
is
you
it?
might. He put, being that the Seahawks got Jamal Adams, moved them up to like in the top 5 safety duos. Bills aren't even
Nah.
in there just because of Adams. Come on, man, lost your
Well,
mind.
I've got a couple ones that say the safety duos that we're number one actually in the safety duos in a couple places
Where
that
was
I've
that?
read.
No, I haven't
I'll look
seen
it
that.
up. I got it somewhere.
Hey, I like it. I haven't seen it, but Chris Sims booted us, I guess, from the top 5 and put them there.
Oh, so
Come on,
that's a recent since the trade. Okay, okay, I see what you're saying.
they put them up.
But
He's like,
mm,
come on, need to stop that. By the way, the Bills had already cut 2 players from their roster. That's why they're at 86 instead of 88. They ended up letting go of Garrett McKinn. He was an undrafted free agent in 2019. I believe he was offensive guard. But he found the job right away. Jacksonville Jaguars picked him up. So he's there. Another guy that I thought he was on the bubble. He didn't even make it to the bubble. The guy's gone already, and that was Ray McLeod. 6th-round pick, 2018. He just never got going. Is your house okay there? He hasn't been picked up yet, but there are a few spots I think he could actually end up. One is Bobby's team, the Giants. I could see them using him at depth. He would be, I think, a decent slot guy if he steps up his game. He's not a big, tall guy, but he's what, 5'10", quick, maybe work the slot. And another guy spot, I think, 2 other teams. One I really think pick him up is Philadelphia Eagles. Marquise Goodwin, talking about opt-outs, ex-Buffalo Bill, he opted out this season.
did
So
he
why
also?
not take him, throw him in the slot? They really don't have a lot of depth at wide receiver in Philly. So that's a spot. And then the Pats, they love picking up Bills players. I can see them picking them up, putting them in behind Julian Edelman. Let Edelman teach him the ways, teach him the ropes to work that slot. Could be dangerous, you know. But like I told you, I saw Ray being gone. So
Well, we had
gone.
discussed that he would have been. Every time we mentioned name, what would you do?
Yeah, poor Ray. Don't get me wrong, I like Ray, but he never developed.
Never
Never
developed.
happened.
Absolutely.
Listen, man, you seem down.
I'm just all over the place, man. This COVID stuff got me. I am down, man. I know.
What happened to you? The positivity.
It just shocks you because we're looking so forward to the season. You know what I'm saying? We did major moves, got the draft picks we wanted. We filled out all the positions that needed to be filled. It's like the football gods were with the Buffalo Bills, and all of a sudden, 2020. It's been a horrible year for everybody. Personally for people going through stuff in terms of the economy, in terms of everything, and us as fans, we do the show as fans, and we love the sport of football. This is kind of our way to get away from a lot of people's way to get away from reality, just have some fun and to just enjoy ourselves really. On Sundays, we're gonna eat, we're gonna have a couple beers, we're gonna watch football. That's a lot of people is kind of their life, and then to get hit with this, it does kind of take a toll on you because now we're in such an uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen. We got all these picks. We got all these guys. Look what happened. The rookies show up. 2 of them are asymptomatic. They send everybody home. Now they're going to remote. Now they're going to have to test negative 3 times in a week. I mean, what are the possibilities of that happening if they say you got to quarantine for 14 days? I mean, you do the math. So, I'm trying to stay positive. I know you're trying to stay positive. The fans that are watching, they're all positive. We're so geared up for this season. I mean, I haven't felt like this. We talked about it since the 90s. And then to have this hit, it does. It's like, it's like a kick in the gut. You're like, man, what if? What could happen? We're excited because on paper we look great. You know what I mean? So we got to keep all these guys healthy, and hopefully the other teams stay healthy too. Because if not, there's not even going to be a season. They already knocked out. First, it went down to 2 preseason games, and now they have no preseason games. So we just got to see how it plays out. Am I trying to stay positive? Absolutely, but man, getting all this news from all over the league like this is like shell shock. You don't even know what to think or what to expect, what to predict. On paper we could predict whatever we want to do, but until things get situated, we're just talking as fans, pretty much hypothetically what could happen. We have no clue of what's going to happen, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. Where it's out of our control.
And we just got to play week by week and see how it goes, or day by day, either way. Because I mean, we went from nothing to bam, 5.
Day by day, hour by hour, man. I'm listen. You get updates by the hour. So like every hour, your phone. Whenever I hear like, cold Buffalo Cold news report, or like Bills Consolidate, or any one of those other sister sites, when my phone pings, I'm like, my heart skips. Like, oh man, let me see what happened now. So
Yeah.
it's definitely it's nerve wracking, man. And by the way, thanks Bill Hatch that he came last weekend on the show. I wanted to say thanks for him showing up last week. We're trying to get some more super fans on the show, some more guests. But with all this stuff going on, it's kind of up in the air. But we're definitely trying to work on Will and I are definitely trying to get some people on here that could join the show and give us more input. Hopefully, they're closer to the Buffalo Bills than we are, and we get more inside help.
It'll be also we'll get more fans and stuff once the season.
More
if the
fans,
season does,
absolutely.
especially some of our friends, they're opposing teams. We'll have them on. We'll discuss it. We'll talk crap to each other, going back
Absolutely.
and forth. Actually, Justin, who chimed in, he's a Jet fan, so I told him when we play the Jets,
Come on,
we'll have him on. We have another buddy. You said you have a buddy who's a big Jet fan, so
absolutely.
everybody out there who's opposing team or opposing fan, we'll have you guys on.
Absolutely.
Other brother or sister shows, however you want to call it, they're fans of different teams. We'll have them on. We'll just talk crap to each other. We'll, especially the other guys on the other shows, I want to do something like, hey, maybe wear jerseys or a T-shirt of the other teams or something. We'll come.
Oh, that's a bet. Oh, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Because if I have to wear it, this is what you're gonna see the whole show. If I have to wear another team, it ain't happening. But hey, and for real, that seems like a great idea. I know we discussed that, having opposing team fans on the show. That way, not just so much to talk crap, but to get their view on how their team stacks up against ours for that week, and where they think their weaknesses in matchups, and we could counter talk, with counterpoints on how our team would match up with them defensively, offensively, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to the season. We have a lot in store for the season. Like I said, we're going to have fans on. We're going to have guests on, super fans come on, and have our own analysis as fans. Like I said, Will and I are professional, sportscasters. We just love the Buffalo Bills. We've been following them for forever. So, we just do it for love, man. We want to see our Bills get that one. Man, in my lifetime, I'm 50 years old. I just want to see them win one Super Bowl, man.
Well,
and I'm good. I'll be like this. Okay, take me now.
Anybody who's watching, one thing we're going to hit up on real also is going to be the top 100, the top 5 that came out. A lot of people are upset because we have Lamar, Russell, and Patrick Mahomes up there, and Patrick wasn't first. If you have an idea or say if you think Patrick should have been first, you put it out there. I want to hit up a few things we're going to hit on it anyway. One thing I'll tell you this, though. If we have that clown Justin on, that scrubs, his head is like this. Nick can't get into him. He thinks the Jets are number 1. He thinks they're the best team. All right? Like that. You can't get into some people. Let me stop. Justin's actually more level-headed. I have another buddy, Jordan. I don't know if he's watching, but his head is twice as thick as this helmet. Doesn't matter.
Man.
I think it's the Jets number 1 all around. Guy's crazy. Anyway, now let's hit the top 100. The Buffalo Bills had 3 guys on the top 100 list this year. Our highest ranked guy at 87, I guess higher up top, towards 100, not the low, was Josh Allen. Josh Allen cracked the list this year. I was happy to see it. I mean, could he have been higher? Maybe. Lower? Maybe. But I'll take it. Josh cracked it. 87. Not bad for him. What did you think? I mean, you're happy to see Josh. I know you're happy to see Josh. Do you think he's okay at 87 or should have been lower?
Lower in terms of towards number 1. I think he should have been, there's 17. How many players are in the league? 1,700 plus players in the league. there was a couple of sportscasters that actually commented and said that he shouldn't even be in the top 200, which I disagree with. I'm just telling you. I have him. I would love to have him in the top 50, to be honest with you, because his numbers match a lot of these top guys, and if not surpassing, you know what I mean? He has more rushing touchdowns than Saquon Barkley. What is Saquon Barkley on the list? You know, is he even in the top one? He's got to be in the top, you know, up there. You know what I'm saying? If you go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I just said that's crazy that he has as many more than Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, and if you really statistically look, he's better than a lot of these guys on this. So I would have him. Me personally, I would have had him in the top 50. And now that I'm being actually biased because I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, of course. But you got to remember, this is not this 100 poll is not from the sportscasters or anybody else. It's from your peers. Yeah. So, you know, all the NFL players. You know, I saw a video out there. They asked Ezekiel Elliott how he felt having the same. What's up, Dwayne Smith? How you doing? That's a Pittsburgh guy we're gonna have on, a Pittsburgh Steeler guy right there. We're gonna have him on the show when we play Pittsburgh. But
what's up, Dwayne?
Yeah. So you know these guys with these top 100, they're getting it from their own peers. You understand what I'm saying? So it's so to get that respect, to even be in the top 100, I'm happy with the position he's in. Do I think he could have been higher statistically? Yeah, but again, they're going by their own peers. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool for them to get voted in like that, and that just.
By the way, when I was talking about Ezekiel Elliott, they asked him how he felt having the same amount, I believe, rushing touchdowns, and Zeke was like, because Josh Allen is a beast. I don't know if you saw that video circulated. He was lit in front of the computer and they asked him that question. I forgot what the question was in terms of like, how do you feel if Josh Allen have the same rushing touchdown, whatever it was? He's like, well. Because he's a beast. Like they didn't expect that he was gonna say that. Like they thought he was gonna get mad, and he's like, the dude's just a beast. So that's pretty cool, man. But yeah, Dwayne Smith, when we play Pitt, we're gonna have you on so we get your expert analysis. That's a long time. For 20-25 years, I've got heartbreak over this guy over here. Always watching. When we played Pittsburgh last year was a different story, but that's my boy Dwayne, man. We gladly have him on the show when Pittsburgh comes on.
That's cool. No, I used to. I never really disliked Pittsburgh. I respected them, especially back in the day when they had like Greg Lloyd. I thought he was a monster, and then they ended up bringing one of my favorite players. We didn't play in the Bills with Kevin Green. They had a nasty linebacker, nasty defense back then. I'm trying to find. You know, the thing is, Josh Allen doesn't get as much respect as he deserves. You know, I was trying to find the tweet that had the comparison for the last 9 games of the season between him and Aaron Rodgers. You know, and their numbers were pretty much on point, similar. Except for Rodgers' percentage was a little better. So I brought this up to actually the one clown I named Jordan before, and his answer was, "Well, you know, Rodgers doesn't have that good of a team because he can't give Josh Allen any credit." So
not at all.
Whatever, but the guy at least. He's not getting credit or props from half the reporters or fans out there, but at least he's getting it from his own
players, peers. Yeah, absolutely.
Peers, which is great. Hey, 87 this year, a lot lower next year. At 54, even though he wasn't with us, but he's with us now, Stephon Diggs, you know, the guy's a beast. So I want to see what he does this year. I mean, we can't take credit for his numbers last year.
No.
He's a now.
I'm watching all the film on him. You know, he's awesome. He's the number 1 receiver in coverage, numbers wise. So, I mean, that's incredible. Now, with the off-season workouts that he had with Josh Allen, we're gonna take more chances. You know what I'm saying? You got to take a. Is he gonna be upset with Josh Allen like he started to get upset over there with in Minnesota? You know what I mean? Towards the end with Kirk Cousins, like with the tweeting and everything. I mean, there's so many ifs that you know, if we have the season, but is he going to be able? I know they've been working out, like I say, just to say in short, they've been working out in Miami, they've been working out in California. As per Joe Kroon, the tight end, he posts a lot of videos. If you go to Viva Los Bills on Facebook, I actually put a lot of videos that I forward a lot of videos that Joe Kuhn produces, and he's been working out with Josh Allen. So now, if Josh Allen can reel in that deep ball, in other words, accuracy wise, he might have a good year. But then again, this is Stephon Diggs, so he might get into double coverage with me. Brown, Beasley, they might have better numbers because of the double. We don't know what's going to happen. Plus the running game, we got a killer running game. We got a 1-2 punch, with Moss and Singletary. So that either we pass or we're going to play action. It's going to be awesome if we have the season. But getting back to Stephon Diggs, his numbers from the past, we can't get credit from it, but he is a hell of a player. I mean, all the video and the stuff that I watched, except in that playoff game that he caught that game winner against the Saints, and wow, I mean, the guy has incredible hands. They say he has like a 9-10 inch whatever hands, glove size or whatever. He's just huge.
It's going to be great.
He's got if we can get the ball to him.
Yeah, well, they'll get the ball to him. I'm sorry, I think Josh is, like I said, he doesn't get the credit. How many drops he led the league in drops last year?
And drop passes. That's right.
A lot of his passes. They say the guy has a cannon, so they're dropping his stuff. That's not his fault. If it's behind them, I get it. But if they're hitting him in the hands, and Knox by himself dropped a bunch of them. So, that was his rookie year. That's got to end. So his numbers are going to go up. Everything's going to go up. Stephon Diggs can't bring that mentality here. He's almost going into the same situation he had in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. All right? Over there you had Thielen. Over here he's going to have Brown. I don't know who their third receiver was, but you're going to have Cole Beasley. Can't argue with Cole Beasley. Over there they had Randolph at tight end if he wasn't hurt. Yep. You're going to have Knox. Over there you had Delvin Cook. You're going to have Singletary. Is Cook better? I think Cook might be better all around as a running back. The guy's a beast coming out of Florida State. He was so fast, that guy, during gameplay was insane. The guy would give him the ball at Florida State, touchdown. The guy would run by everybody. So he's falling into almost that same situation. So they're going to try to get him the ball, but Allen has to be smart. Don't force it to him if you have Brown open. Don't force it to him if Cole Beasley's running over there in the middle and you could drop it off for a first down. You can't force it to him. Diggs has to play there, and he has to get in that mentality. It's all about winning. It's not about just me. On that note, guy number at 47, Tre'Davious White. Love it.
Show him the money.
Was he 3 years in the league, 4 years in the league? Still hasn't given up a touchdown. He should be lower, I think.
I don't know.
Anybody on our
I don't
squad,
know how they. This is one that I'm kind of upset with because they got what's the kid they traded from Jacksonville ahead of him? Doggone it, I lost his name. How can they have him? Ramsey. How can they have him? Come on, come on.
The problem is everybody loves him because he talks crap.
I don't care. I don't care about all that. Just show me what you could do. You know what I mean? He got torched when he was with. Man, listen, whatever it is. I'm not even gonna front. But like we said, it's from his peers. So
yes. Hey, I'm happy he's on the list. Again, I think he should have been down there. One player that wasn't on here. Again, there's only 100 spots. And how many players you said are in the league? Some crazy amount.
1,700, 2,000, whatever it was, yeah.
So the one guy I thought who could have cracked the top 100, who didn't get any love, was Tremaine Edmonds. He's linebacker, man. He's a beast,
He is, but I think
linebackers out there, but at his age, doing what he's doing, he was 19 years old. Come on, man. He should have got some love.
Absolutely. I agree with you, but I believe 2 more years he'll be in the top 50. How about that?
2 more years?
2 more years.
Say this year if we have a league, because I told you he's going to be one of the top linebackers in the league in my bold predictions. But let's see if that happens. But I was a little disappointed he didn't get any love. Now, going on to the top 4, at 4, Patrick Mahomes. Ranked number 3rd, Aaron Donald, defensive tackle. Ranked 2nd, Russell Wilson. Number 1, Lamar Jackson. I believe Lamar Jackson was the MVP this year, wasn't he? Or was it Pat? No, I thought it was Lamar, right? Anyway, people are telling me, Patrick Mahomes should have been number one. Oh, Patrick Mahomes should have been in front of Russell Wilson. Nobody's even talking about Aaron Donald because the guy's a monster. He only had 12 and a half sacks, but still, the guy's a beast. My thing is this. When I put all their numbers close together, Patrick Mahomes, if you compare it to Lamar Jackson, he had 904 yards passing more than Lamar Jackson.
More passing yards.
904. But I'm not even counting the rushing yards or anything. Didn't even count that.
Okay.
Just throw.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson had 10 more touchdown passes. His passing rating at the time was 113, or his whatever yards was 113.3 was his rating. Patrick's was 105.3. Now, if you want, and they'll say, well, why is Russell Wilson ahead of him? Russell Wilson had 5 more touchdown passes than Patrick Mahomes and had 79 more passing yards. Not much, but he still had 79 more passing yards over Patrick Mahomes. And his rating was a 106.3. So, I mean, okay, Patrick won the Super Bowl. I get it. But if you're going straight up numbers, it wasn't Patrick who won the Super Bowl by himself. You have a great team over.
Absolutely.
But if you're going one-on-one with your stats, Russell and Lamar had better numbers. Lamar had better numbers. He had 10 more touchdowns, dude. Yeah, he had less than 900 yards passing, but all around, he had better numbers. And I'm not even looking at the rushing yards that this kid put up, which was amazing.
You got to remember, they're not going by numbers. This is the peer voted in. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure they take it into consideration. But, like if I play against Lamar Jackson, like, man, that's the baddest quarterback I ever went. Of course, they're not going to look at the numbers in comparison to Patrick Mahomes. They're going by who the baddest person they go, by the peers. So that's what that list is about, which is pretty cool because, instead of having some guy that's sitting there like us with pens and just looking at numbers, voting, you got guys that actually play each other, say, hey, man, that guy's a beast. He should be at such and such, which is pretty cool. But before we go, I'd like to go down a list. I found the whole list of, if you want to, of all the people that are opting out of this season due to the COVID.
The whole thing? Real quick,
there's only one or two. Go ahead.
The one thing like he did when he found out the list, he ended up posting an emoji of a pencil and pad, like pretty much taking notes. Another thing for the Kansas City Chiefs, I want to see what happens because Damian Williams, their running back, opted out. He's one of the main guys, like you said. He opted out. And their offensive guard, like the starter, Laurent Duvernay Tardif, or how you say his name, he was a big part of their offensive line. And to me, their offensive line was a little suspect. He had to run around a lot. He did create plays, same as Lamar. That's another thing. But those are 2 big losses for him. So let's see what happens.
There's some big names across the league that can make or break a team, man. To be honest with you, it's like what's going on with Chung over there in New England. Like I said, I got the list, so whenever you're ready, you let me know and we'll go down. There's not a lot, you know what I mean? It's just 1 or 2 players per team.
Hightower is one, I know. So real quick on this last thing before we bounce off, do you think Patrick should have been first, or you would have kept Lamar like the way it is?
Man, that's a tough one, man. I mean, I like
everybody on Patrick's junk. That's the way I
think so.
It seems that way. And to me, like my bold prediction that I said, Patrick Mahomes will never get to a Super Bowl as a starter again. That's really my bold prediction. That's me sipping on this. Some Haterade.
But listen, man.
Some Haterade.
But you got to give it to Patrick Mahomes. When he was down against San Francisco, how he made that comeback. I mean, that was some raw stuff. And then you got Jackson, what he did with us. I mean, it's like, it's like we had him.
But pretty much shut him down.
We did, but I mean,
the only defenses that shut him down. And the reason why is because of our speed at linebacker.
That's right.
People think, I talk junk, but we have speed at linebacker with Milano, Edmonds,
Amelana.
and now we even have Klein, who's also faster than Alexander. Love Alexander,
Yep.
but he was a little
Yep.
older and he wasn't as fast.
Mm-hmm.
We got faster, and that kills these
Yes.
running
These
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks.
You know,
Yep.
the one thing I will give Patrick that he has over Lamar, he will sit in the pocket longer and he will, pick somebody apart. Now,
I think Patrick has a better arm
oh yeah,
than
I
Lamar.
think so too. But
Yeah.
Lamar he's just a monster all around. If we do have a season, I want to see his numbers. I think Lamar's numbers might drop this year. Defenses
Mm-hmm.
are going to be seeing him more.
Yeah.
Now with Patrick, I think Patrick's going to get picked off more. If you watch some of these games, some of his passes just sit up
Oof, they
there
sail.
too
Yeah.
long.
Yep.
And I don't know how San Fran didn't pick him off towards the end of the game at least
Mm-hmm.
twice. The receiver, I think it was Hill, ended up catching the ball, but he was just sitting there. I was like, come on, man, how are you not picking that off? And
Yeah.
I played defense. I was a strong safety in high school. I had an invite to go play at a college, but I didn't. It just drives me crazy. I'm a defensive guy. I love defense.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching it. I'm like, that should have been picked off. No question about it. I think we'll see that this year if it does happen. But I like the list. I'm fine with Lamar Jackson and anyway.
I think those top four are pretty much where there's nothing shocking about the top four. Can you rearrange it a couple of ways? No. What's shocking is just three quarterbacks out of the top four positions. So they get the glory. Them quarterback, them Golden Boys get all the glory. But at least we got one trench guy in there, so that's good. Yeah. That's good for the guys.
And nobody's even talking about Russell Wilson. He's a monster by himself. That guy.
Yeah, man.
He's so
absolutely.
Anyway,
getting
out the names on that list there because I know there's.
We're gonna run it through.
Down, but I was like, I'll let it go.
I'm gonna run it real quick. I'm gonna go in alphabetical order. For Baltimore Ravens, we got offensive tackle Andre Smith, wide receiver DeAnthony Thomas. Buffalo Bills star Lotulelei. Carolina Panthers linebacker Jordan Mack. Chicago Bears defensive tackle Eddie Goldman. Cleveland Browns offensive tackle Drake Dorbeck. Offensive tackle Drew Forbes. Dallas Cowboys, we got cornerback Maurice Kennedy and wide receiver Stephon Guidry. Denver Broncos defensive tackle Kyle Pecco. Detroit Lions defensive tackle John Atkins. Green Bay Packers wide receiver Devin Funchess. Houston Texans all these defensive tackles. It's like a tongue twister. Defensive tackle Eddie Vander Does. Kansas City Chiefs guard Laurent Duvernay. Tardif. Running back Damian Williams. You mentioned that before. Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, that's a big loss. Minnesota Vikings defensive tackle Michael Pierce. New England Patriots, here where it gets interesting. Running back Brandon Bolden. Offensive tackle Marcus Cannon. Safety Patrick Chung. Linebacker Dante Hightower. Guard Najee Turan and fullback Danny Vitale.
Okay. All right. That means stop right there.
All right. I got you. I'm bilingual.
Patrick Chung is big, and Hightower, to me, those are big. I mean, I don't know about Bolden, really. I don't know about Vitale, whatever. And I think, did Cannon start? I think Cannon started. So, I mean, those are three big names.
The guard.
Yeah. Go ahead. I might stop you again when I see a big name out there. That's big.
All right. Minnesota Vikings. No, I said that already. New Orleans Saints, tight end Jason Vanderland and tight end Cole Wick. So that's two tight ends for the Saints. New York Giants, offensive tackle Nate Solder. New York Jets, center Leo Koloamatangi. Philadelphia Eagles, wide receiver Marquise Goodwin, which is a big loss. Seattle Seahawks, guard Chance Warmack. Tennessee Titans, offensive tackle Anthony McKinney. And Washington football team, they don't even have a name. The team out of Washington, defensive end Caleb Brantley. So that's pending. Next week, this list could be double in size. So we're going to keep an eye on that for you guys and keep you updated on all the news that breaks out across the NFL, but especially for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, Nate Soldier is pretty big for the Giants. I mean, he's a little long in the tooth, but he's still pretty good out there. I don't know about this Leo guy for the Jets. I don't know if he's any good. I mean, Patriots are the main one, I think, like you said, with this list. Look at that. An hour's gone by already. Let me ask you a question, man. I know this was up in the news. I don't know if it was.
Hold on. Positive. That's so I can give you a positive answer. Go ahead, man.
I know. I think it was Governor Cuomo who said buffalo wings are not a meal, man. You think
What was that?
Buffalo wings
Uh-huh.
is not a meal? I think Cuomo said. Now,
Man, buffalo wings is a meal if you have blue cheese. I don't want to hear no ranch stuff. We can debate that, but blue cheese.
That was another question. So no ranch for you?
Nah, blue, man. Blue cheese.
Hey, Bobby, you back there? Well, come on before we close the show. Personally, buffalo wings. I've eaten buffalo wings many times as my meal, and I think I prefer blue cheese, but I'll have them with ranch as well. So I don't care. You know, Bobby, you think wings are a meal, man? You think buffalo wings are a meal?
If you go to my boy over here, Blue 42 in Elmo Park, the wings are enormous and delicious. So absolutely.
Elmo Park, you're gonna have to send that to me. I never been there. I've been to
one
Elmo
of the
Park.
top wing places in New Jersey.
Really? I used to always go to Jimmy G's in Haledon. They had big wings.
Yeah, I think they're very similar. This guy in Elmo Park has like 90 or over 100 different flavors of wings.
Wow.
Yeah.
I even had peanut butter and jelly wings.
What? Peanut butter and jelly?
Peanut butter and jelly wings. Yep.
How was that?
I nacho cheese Dorito wings.
Wow.
That actually sounds like it could be good. Nacho cheese Doritos.
Cool Ranch Doritos. He has like almost everything you can think of there.
It's crazy. Let me ask you: are you a blue cheese guy? Are you blue cheese or ranch?
Either one. I'm not picky with that.
These are the hard-hitting questions on Viva Los Bills, man.
Okay. Putting people on the spot. Blue cheese for me, baby. Blue cheese all the way, man. I love blue cheese.
Every day.
And to answer that question, if buffalo wings could be a meal, heck yeah, it could be. You get you a side of celery and carrots and some blue cheese, and oh man, there's your salad right there on the side, celery. And then your main course. You see, yeah, man, dip it with the blue cheese. Oh man, you got to try it, man.
Celery.
I'm a carrot guy with that. Carrot and blue cheese. Oh yeah.
Celery, carrots, blue cheese. That's your salad right there, and then you got the main course and buffalo wings, and go to town. Now the question to you, Will, since you asked me that question, do you like drums or flats?
No, I'm a drum guy, dude.
I'm a flat guy. See?
Are you?
Yeah.
Usually nobody likes the flats, man. You want the
I love
drum.
The flats. I don't know, for some reason I get to the drum, it's just too much meat. I like the flats. I don't know why.
Like Bobby, I could do carrots. Beside, I just can't do celery. And if I do celery, it has to be like the really thin ones and with a lot of blue cheese because I don't like celery, man. So this is our question. What was that? You're breaking up. What?
Vinny said there's too much meat on a wing.
Yeah, he likes the.
I like the flats. I don't know. Just psychologically, I guess. I just like the way to handle the flats better, I guess. I don't know.
Do you like crispy wings or your soggy wings? See, I hate when they get too soggy. I like it crispy, Crispy.
See, I like wet wings. I like them wet. See? You like them crunchy and dry. I like them wet in the sauce or whatever, in the buffalo sauce. Or
I like with sauce. They have to be crunchy,
It's got to have some crunch to it. I don't like them soggy. Like you go to some place and they're just like the skin is like real. Nah, it's got to have a little umph to it. Oh, absolutely. I agree with you on that.
If you're ever over here in Jersey City, there's a place called Fox and Hounds on Palisade Avenue. They actually make a really good wing. They don't have different flavors really, but their wings are pretty good and they're nice and crispy. I think it was the last time before all this. That's where I had it. And I don't know if you remember the old Celebrities before we head off of here and down in Haledon. The club we used to have in town called Celebrities. I forgot. Now it's named something else. They used to make these little tiny wings, dude. But they were so tasty. They were like so small. I don't know why they were that small, but they used to make them over there. The guy Jerry, or I don't know if he came up with the recipe or who. They were really tasty. Tiny, but tasty. You would get like 24 in order to fill you up.
Sweet. Best wings in the world, Duff Swings up in Buffalo. Hey, take us out of here, man.
actually did go to Duff's, I think, when I went to Buffalo. I went to the Anchorage bar, and we went to Duff's, I think, after the Bills game. Oh, my God. I was gone. I was gone. Too much drinking, too many women. They weren't good. I don't remember if they were the best ones, but they weren't good. So on that note, we're going to sign off for another week of Viva Los Bills. For your man, Bobby, a.k.a. the Pirate back there. Bobby, I didn't know you were actually the Pirate. For the man, Cuzzy Vinny, sending out those positive vibes like the Care Bears over there.
I'm gonna bring y'all good news next week. I promise.
News. Until next week, everybody. Good night. Go Buffalo.
Later, y'all.
Viva Los Bills. Love you all.
Go Buffalo.
Peace. Good thoughts. Good thoughts. Positive vibes. Positive vibes.